Years now,
Yes.
right? 51st season. How did you get into dance yourself? How old were you?
I was 3 when my mother took me to my first dance class. I remember climbing the stairs, walking in the studio, and I wouldn't dance. I watched for 4 weeks. My mother took me every week, didn't push me. And then I said, hey, I think I'll try it. And in history since then, you know.
And dance, we think a lot about, like you as a 3-year-old, your mom bringing you to a dance class, but dance isn't just for kids, it's for everyone.
Dance is for everybody. Everybody. That was my motto, and still is my motto. It's for everybody. Old elderly people. I've taught people that were 86 years old, came in to learn to tap this man, and babies, people that with special needs. It's such a beautiful thing for people that are mentally having issues, physically. For quite a while, I did a program in my school, a dance therapy program, and there were children with special needs and some very severely. I don't want to say damaged, but people that really had the need, and kids that couldn't even walk or sit. Or, they brought them in wheelchairs, and it was really one of the most beautiful things, I think, programs that I've had in my school.
How did it come about the National Dance Day performing for National Dance Day at the Shattuck Street stage during Folk Festival?
Well, this was an idea that I've had since National Dance Day was formed, and while I was directing my school, I was so involved with just keeping that going and all the business that, that took place and all the events. I had to kind of put it aside, and then I said, okay, I'm going to present this. So I called Craig Gates, who is the executive director of the Lowell Folk Festival, and I told him my idea. And my idea was to bring communities, bring people together through dance and music, just like it is happening at the Folk Festival. And to do a performance, bring people in to dance, to learn the National Dance Day routine. I brought in dancers from all these different diverse cultures, African dance, Mexican, flamenco, and of course our own American dance, from tap to blues to swing to spirituals to hip hop, and it's like my baby right now. I love doing it. I love the whole concept of it, and to see people that never would have seen dance. For many people, this is their first experience, especially, here in Lowell, where a lot of people can't afford to go to the theater or afford to go to see dance. To be able to introduce this to the community has been a special thing for me in my heart. And the performers that are involved in it have that same joy.
It must be exciting for them because it is a different audience and it is a different type of venue, and the energy that comes with the Folk Festival, and they get a huge crowd at that Shattuck Street stage as soon as the dancing starts, and to feed off that energy must be exciting.
It is. And I think that the energy between the audience and the performers is equally as strong and beautiful. I just sometimes the dancers are on the stage and I'm just scanning the audience, and I look at this one little boy or one little girl or this, older woman sitting there, and they're just in awe. Dance is life. Dance is a beautiful way of communicating, of preserving our history, our culture. When I go to another country, for me, it's the food, the music, and the dance that gives me more connection to the people than even the monuments and all. I feel like dance is a way of telling our stories. Like I said, preserving our culture, preserving our history, and giving. Yeah.
I thought this year's folk festival, Wade in the Water, the Alvin Ailey piece, was incredibly powerful. And what made you choose that? And I read that you did study at Alvin Ailey's studio in New York.
I did study at Alvin Ailey's. Alvin Ailey is my hero. I met him. I was in class with him. I spoke with him. Wading in the Water was the only piece in the program that was mine, that I choreographed. And I choreographed that after Alvin Ailey. I mean, it's one of the pieces that he has in his Revelations, which was choreographed in 1960, and it's still celebrated all over the world to this day. And that piece has special meaning to me, and that whole ballet has special meaning to me. And during the folk festival, I try to give some history as I'm presenting. I have an African group, and our American jazz started with African dance. And then I present Irish dance. And, we as a country are a melting pot of all these different cultures, the flamenco. So while I'm presenting the story, while I'm presenting the National Dance Day, I try to tell the story. And this is part of the history of American dance, is the spirituals. The blues and all the Negro spirituals and the black culture, the black history. So that was important to me to bring in, and that piece is me. So, I feel like there's more to do with this National Dance Day. I'd like to further expand it if I can get more funding and more people involved in it. I'd like to bring this to Lowell, where not only do we have this performance at the folk festival, but we could have little venues where people could go and learn a little African dance and a little flamenco and a little hip hop, and there'd be maybe 20-minute little classes here or there. So that's my big dream. But right now, it's to keep this alive and keep it going.
Yeah, it's really spectacular. Why is it important to continue to fund the arts, and dance in particular, in the United States?
It's vital. It's vital, especially in these times. We need an outlet. We need an outlet to express ourselves. The arts touch people more to me than anything. And it's just vital. It's necessary that we are able to preserve our history, our culture, our hearts, and to tell these stories through dance, through movement. For me, I speak here and through my choreography much better than what comes out of my mouth. And I think the arts are vital to our society.